curiosity is so central to what we do. Healthcare can be a very complex, very challenging model between both the structures and the external influences that really impact our business. The idea that you would still bring natural curiosity to a complex business or a complex environment or complex conversation really is important. And I would say for anyone wanting to participate in this type of program, approach this with an appeal to curiosity for teams and individuals, really exploring the way you think about things, the way you approach things, and the way you build relationships. In a corporate environment, we're kind of trained not to be vulnerable. The idea is that you put on your suit of armor, you create your own goals, you have a mission and accountabilities, and you work very quickly to be opportunistic and to work toward those goals. The idea that you could open yourself up to criticism, to different ways of thinking, to adopting new strategies through partnership or learning really is an important one. And I think this particular program really allowed an opportunity to take a breath and think about those things.
I think it's a great team building exercise and something that employees would not only benefit from within the workplace to help them understand each other a little better and be a little bit more tolerant of others, but also it's a life skill that they're learning that is going to be with them wherever they go. It's not only a professional development opportunity, it's an amazing personal development opportunity as well. And I think the more that everybody in the world, whether they're in a workplace of 10 people or in a multinational organization of thousands, we need to work on our relationships better. And I think that worldview intelligence supports that understanding of ourselves, but also our understanding of others as well. Worldview intelligence is super, super important, even in building cultural competencies as an alternative to conflict management, whether it's within your own organisation or the work that you do with other organisations or communities. The learnings that you will take away will help reshape not only the way that you do things, but the way that you perceive what's happening in the world as well. And it left me wanting more. So, after doing level 1, I'm like, now when's level 2 ready? I'm ready. That's what you want to get out of any learning opportunity, that desire to want to know more. And I think that that's what the activities and the reflection pieces throughout the series actually helped myself do. You want them to go, wow, that was amazing. I want more.
If an organization was considering this practice for their employees, I would encourage them to really think about teams participating together, cohorts simultaneously. I can really see how an organization like Sanford or other Fortune 500 style companies would see this as not only interpersonal learning, but also team building exercise and understanding how you take the framework, apply these in conversations and relationships among a finite team, and then work together to figure out how they explore not just personally, but among a cohort that really works together every day. My assumption is that when you're sitting next to a colleague who you work with very intimately every day, they probably would be able to provide a different level of feedback to me as an individual in my own considerations of this platform. So my encouragement really to other companies would be that you think about having a small cohort that would participate simultaneously together.
This is an important piece of work for group process, particularly for either groups that are just starting to work together or groups that are mature, that is, have worked together as a group for a period of time. So really it can apply anywhere along that continuum, but certainly to start identifying the fact that even though we're in the same organization or we're working on the same project or we're in the same geographical area, we're not coming to the table with the same views, and access more wisdom by allowing worldviews other than the dominant few. And there tend to always be a dominant few for anybody studying in this area. Also in the nonprofit sector, particularly where organizations are addressing social issues, I think this is very important information for those who are carrying a social agenda I see as almost critical, particularly the self-evaluation piece. I believe that, before I work with others, it's important for me to know who I am and what I'm bringing into the work. This course really helped me to identify a lot more, on top of many years of self-discovery.
It's extremely important that no matter whether you adopt this program or a different kind, that this is an ongoing for your well-being of the employees. Because it's not just about the productivity of the employees and how effective they are in building relations and trust, but it's also about the ability of those employees to work with one another and judge with the heart and see with their eyes, but slightly different, right? And have ability to listen, but active listening. Words, it only take meaningful meaning when you are part of a program like this. I would suggest that adoption doesn't mean that only select certain leaders, high profiles, high potentials attend it. I think it needs to be throughout the organization.
I'm hoping that we can bring this into our workplace. I think it has so many different ways that it can be incorporated, from just having online learning modules for orientation purposes, for having specific groups come in when they're having different challenges. Frontline workers could go in, and then management could go in, and then you could even come together and do a learning together after you have the training to ask some questions, because obviously issues happen in all workplaces. So you really need to be able to troubleshoot, and hopefully you would be able to have you guys come back and say, like, okay, this is what's going on. This is how you can get back on track. Just kind of asking questions.
This course will be useful for large corporations, for any sales groups, development-oriented groups within organizations, not-for-profits, NGOs, for-profit organizations, really any type, where people are called to develop new business, where they're thinking innovatively, where they're approaching complex models.
If I was an organization looking at this, I would be encouraging team members to work together through it, whether it was just partners doing it or small groups that would come together and discuss each of the activities and the reflection questions as a group reflective piece. I think that would certainly deepen the learning for everybody. But we need all of our team members to be doing this, because the members that we have that work particularly with people with disabilities, they're working with diverse worldviews all the time. And I think that this would give people much better understanding, and rather than othering up people, those that don't have that same worldview, is giving them an alternative way of thinking.